I had been writing a series of mystery novels, but after the attacks of 9/11, my heart was no longer in my work. Did the world need more stories about bad guys? The news at the time was filled with talk of terrorism and evildoers. Rather than creating fictional characters dedicated to catching people doing things wrong, I had the opportunity to work with the author who'd popularized the idea of catching people doing things right. I jumped at the chance, declaring that few people have been as influential a leader as author, thinker, and guru Ken Blanchard. The American Management Association had named Ken as one of the top leadership authorities of the century. But who was the man behind the hype? Working with Ken, it didn't take long for me to find out. My motivation for writing this book is for you to find out as well. No one asked me to write this biography. In fact, some people in the Blanchard organization discouraged me from doing so. I put the idea aside several times, but could never shake the feeling that someone needed to capture the life of this extraordinary human being. Ken Blanchard is one of the most widely quoted leadership experts in the world. He has written 70 books, which at last count have been translated into 47 languages. Altogether, more than 25 million copies of his books have been sold, and they continue to sell thousands of copies every year. He is the co-creator of two management theories, situational leadership and SL2, that are taught in universities and organizations across the globe. Through the company he co-founded in 1979, millions of people have become better leaders in the world's foremost business, nonprofit, and government organizations. A lot of biographies chronicle the lives of big egos motivated by self-interest, power, and status. While these people may be interesting, they make dubious role models. Ken Blanchard is a man whose enlightened ideas about leadership have fundamentally changed people's lives for the better. He was born with advantages, certainly, but he has also suffered profound losses and overcome setbacks that might have derailed many of us. What really inspired me was Ken's authenticity. It's one thing to write uplifting ideas about leadership. It's another thing to live by those ideas. Starting in 2005, I began collecting Ken's professional papers, letters, emails, and journal entries. I conducted dozens of interviews with his friends, family, and colleagues. When the pandemic hit, I began writing. I have done my best to present an objective, fact-based portrait of Ken Blanchard. He is a human being, flawed like the rest of us. At the same time, I found it impossible to disguise my affection and respect for my subject. It is my hope that in learning about his life, you will not only be informed and entertained, but also inspired to become a better leader at work, at home, and in your community.